Hey guys, it's Haysie. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is another episode of my Ultimate Decade Legacy Challenge. I cannot wait to share it with you. So her erratic trait has her telling a story to the pie. She definitely has been struggling over the years, it seems. Okay, it is the first day of 1307. It is Sunday, and today is Riker and Frederick's birthday. So we are in our main older household, and we have Frederick right here. To survive to be a child, he cannot roll a. To survive to make it to childhood, Frederick cannot roll a 9 or a 19. Yay! We have our first child. So excited! I am genuinely thrilled. And we have Hoya over here helping Frederick age up, her firstborn son, her living heir, everything. I'm sure he means everything to her. Yay! You did it! You did it! Alrighty, here we go. Zoom. Alright, and he has grown up to be proper, which is so exciting. So we're going to take him into cast now. Alright, so Frederick aged up. He is such a little cutie. And I am so excited that we have our first heir age up to a child, because we definitely need some helping hands around the farm. And I'm just so excited that he is here now because we have an extra set of hands. So he's doing his first job on the farm. All right, and we're in our second older household, checking in on Riker because it's his birthday, and poor Gemma is still covered in soot from the fire, which is super sad. We're gonna roll for Riker though. So let's get in on Riker. Now let's see if Riker survives. Again, he cannot get a... Okay, we're gonna see if Riker survives. So he cannot get a 9 or a 19. Yay! Riker survives! We have another child! This is so exciting. I'm getting good rolls. I definitely want to keep up the streak. So we're gonna have Jedediah come and help Riker blow out his candles. And Jedediah hasn't been acting like himself lately. He's been very scared and a bit paranoid. So are we gonna embrace the change? Yes, he has definitely been acting weird. And honestly, I think him and Tamara are beefing. I think they are not seeing eye to eye, and I think they are just not parenting well together, and they're butting heads. They both have issues with Gemma, and they're handling it differently, and they're both blaming each other for just everything. So Jedediah and Tamara are definitely having a rift, but he is super happy to see his firstborn son age up. I think they've always had a tough relationship. I think Jedediah and Tamara fell in love with their kid, like the idea of being... So Riker is aging up to be mean, and we're going to take him into Cass. But I definitely think that Jedediah and Tamara are having some serious marriage problems. Hopefully they can work through it. But over the years, they've been getting more distant, and they want to focus on different things. And I think they think each other should be doing more, because Tamara makes a lot of money through being a seamstress and creating beautiful works of art like tapestries and rugs, and Jedediah just kind of makes a little bit of pennies here and there doing music and being a bard, but I really think he isn't giving it his all, and that also is a part of the problem. So yeah, things aren't going well in their household. I think we're gonna give Riker really long hair, and we're gonna remove the eye bags. I think he looks great. He aged up with dimples. Like, this is how he looks, so I'm not going to change anything else. And I will allow him to randomize one more trait. So he can be a glutton, and he can be... What was he? Mean? Mean. So we'll let him be a glutton, and we'll let him be mean. That's okay. You know, everybody's different. All right, so here is Riker all aged up. I definitely think him being mean, it kind of makes sense. His parents have a different parenting style dynamic. They're very just irregular. Not saying they don't care and love him. I think they love him a lot. And then with his sister's dynamics, he was never really a leader with his sisters. So I feel like them always getting on his nerves and being up his butt was something that was hard for him. Are gonna get to know me, know that I will talk. So number one, I just showered and my hair is kind of messy, so I look homeless. So I will be turning off my face cam after this. Second, I wanted to talk about how long this challenge is gonna take me. Doing the math, if I did 1 year in The Sims a day, it would take me about 2 years to 2.5 years to finish this, unless I did more than 1 year a day. I also think it's crazy that I have 8 YouTube videos out in this challenge, and I only have posted up to the year 1304. Now in game we're at 1307 now, so obviously I'm not like where I am in editing. I am going to try so hard to not do our years in 2 episodes, but I feel like when we are playing our side households, to give them the right amount of attention and to keep my videos under an hour long, it does equal 2 episodes from time to time, but I might do my best to get it down to 1, because I would like to get our years moving along on YouTube. So anyways, all of that aside, we are in the year 1307. I'm going to take off my face cam now. Okay, so we are in the year 1307. It is the brand new day of the new year. Pulling up my calendar now. And tomorrow Connor ages up. So we will also work on Connor's love interest like we said we were going to. In the last episodes, there was a fight between Jedediah and Tamara over parenting styles, and they both find it very difficult to get on with their daughter Gemma. So they both struggle with Gemma and they are internally fighting. So, and in the last episode, Jedediah did get the trait switched over to paranoid. So I'm really thinking we're gonna play out how that is affecting him now. And Tamara is very resentful towards him. And if we explore their sentiments, they have been fighting and their love is drifting away. And they've deeply wounded each other by being ugly about their parenting style. Jedediah feels rejected and Tamara feels criticized. So, and they both feel like they're drifting love and they're deeply wounded. So things are not that great between them now. And their sentiments with their daughter is that they still see her as like kind of like a problem child. Not like they don't love her. It does say that they didn't want her and that they did lose. It's not that they don't want her, but they did lose a son right before she was conceived. So they did not do the healing it took to be better people. And they had to move on and parent very fast because of that. And I think they are very frustrated. So I'm going to play them out for a little while. So it turns out baby Lancelot loves books. And I wonder if it's because his older brother is Riker reading to him. Because I think Riker is reading to the kids. But they're all in here just playing. So it looks like Jedediah is working on his relationship with Gemma. Especially after that fire. I really think it woke him up. Like, they can't be kind of blindsided to her and what's going on. And maybe they were a tad bit neglectful. Because, you know, she was walking around biting people and fighting with her brother. I just think that she needed a lot more attention. And maybe Jedediah is seeing that too. So I think he's going to work on her and parenting her. While right now, I don't know how Tamara is investing in Morgan. So I will just see if Tamara is naturally attracted to wanting to repair her relationship with Gemma, or will things just stay strained between them? And it's not Gemma's fault. She's a child. But I think Tamara was also a child having children and her heart was broken after their miscarriage. And I don't think she's gotten better about it. So she's going to need to do some work on herself. And Tamara is very close with Morgan, it seems. So that is probably going to cause problems with Gemma down the road, unfortunately, because their mother showed favoritism to her little sister. So I think Tamara was just really disattached from the situation with Gemma. And things are starting to come to head now over the way that they've kind of handled life after they lost their son, Michael. Gemma is now in the range to earn the conflict resolution trait. So realistically, I think she just needed attention from her parents. Her dad spending the day with them, has really made a big difference on her. And it's really, you know, time passes different in The Sims. So one day is like 3 months. So I think he's really taken the time to invest in his relationship with Gemma. And it might be hard for her right now, but she's definitely learning from it. Meanwhile, Riker has been working on a lute. He, as we know, was singing when he was a younger child. So I think he has fallen in love with music just like his dad did. And maybe he will be doing it more successfully. And Tamara has come out here to mourn her lost son again. It definitely is something she hasn't gotten over. And maybe she realizes that she's taken out her anger on life on Gemma for coming so soon after her pregnancy loss. And it's not Gemma's fault. It's not Gemma's fault for existing at all. But I don't think Tamara, maybe that's why she was always over at Halia's house. It was really hard for her to nurse and love on Gemma when she had just lost the son that she was just so excited to have. So I think Tamara is feeling very remorseful after watching Gemma and Jedediah bond. And while she's not in a hurry to repair her relationship with Jedediah, I do think that she would want to work. So she's going to check in on her and work on their relationship. So she wants to nag her, and that's kind of sad. Like, she's just not... Oh, Jedediah likes having affection with Gemma. I think he's working through his parenting issues with her. So Tamara is coming in to help Gemma out, and she's just checking in on her, giving her love, letting her know that, she's going to be a better mom to her. And, with 4 kids and then a dream of being a seamstress, she does have the trait that she is self-absorbed and self-assured. So she just really thinks that she was right about like focusing on her skill to become a better seamstress to make more money for her family. She's also sinister. So she's kind of up to no good sometimes. I think that I would say instead of sinister, she's probably cynical. I think her and Jedediah's relationship has really just taken its toll. And she's been the one providing all the, like, look at how much money she makes for the family. And he doesn't make anything in comparison to her. Like, she makes so much money. We'll say that she gave these to the trader because right now this is the easiest way to sell them. So she makes her family so much money while Jedediah just goes to the bar every night in her eyes, sings songs, tells stories, drinks a beer, and hangs out with the guys. And he calls that his job. And Tamara doesn't really have any respect for it. And I think because of that, their relationship is going to go down. So he sees her as basic looking. Oh, wait, is he the one who's sinister or is she the one who's sinister? Okay, he's a jester, she's sinister. And I think she's cynical. I don't think she's sinister. I think she is cynical. Sorry, guys. And he sees her as basic looking and she sees him as basic looking. So I think they're just falling out of love with each other. I don't think they're that attracted to each other. Okay, so Tamara has enjoyed spending time with her daughter recently and has decided to be family oriented. We're going to embrace the change, but Jedediah and Tamara's relationship is greatly affected. Tamara definitely has a problem with Jedediah being out all night and going to the taverns. She just sees it as him playing music, singing songs, and just joking around, having a good time with the boys, and drinking beer and coming home with like a little bit of money. She doesn't really see it as beneficial. Meanwhile, she makes the family so much money through seamstressing. And I think she's going to tell Jedediah that she will file a petition for divorce if he does not start making more money and helping out more financially, because it has been a strain on her. And we'll see how he feels about that. I think she's begging him to be a husband and be attentive to their needs. And in his eyes, he is a husband. I don't think she gets him that well. And but it looks like, you know, Jedediah is open to working on things that will make it easier for him and Tamara, but they definitely have a deep rift. Oh, she's happy about her self-discovery. Look at her bonding with Gemma. I mean, we've seen moments where they bonded. She's just always saw her as an unwanted child because she desperately wanted the child she lost before Gemma. I don't think she had any resentment towards Gemma. And I think when Gemma got in that fire, she was already lost in Tamara's mind. And Tamara basically kind of distanced herself because she's like, oh no, like this child might pass away soon too. Meanwhile, Jedediah like poured himself into Gemma. And I think Tamara saw that and was like, you know, she is my kid. I need to give her myself to the fullest. And I think they're going to spend some more time together. She's going in to check on our angry kids who all they want is sugar. So after their long conversation, Jedediah and Tamara are going to make up. And then Jedediah is still going out for his night. Oh look, Riker is going to talk to his mom, I think. No, I guess he's not. But yeah, so Connor came by. I think Connor is going to go out for guys' night and talk to Jedediah about this new woman he's been, you know, interested in. Because Connor is ready for love again. And I think Tamara and Jedediah are going to try to put a band-aid on their situation right now. Alright, so we are with the gang and we are at the local tavern. I did make it a owned household because it made the most sense that way. That way you kind of control who can actually come in and out of the lot. So I think I'm going to start playing like that. The Godwins own this barn, and this one is more for the middle class. So we're gonna just go here. I think together we're all gonna sit and chat and order drinks. They have 2 children, or 3 children, I think. This is Jenny, and they also have a son who is Henry. And I think they have a daughter somewhere as well. Yes, and her name is Naomi. Is anyone else's cameras not been acting right? So all the guys are hanging out and having a drink at the bar while Miss Godwin is making some stew for them. They're pretty much all regulars here, it seems. So, you know, the kids are down even though it's 1 a.m. I think the kids are kind of used to the bar life because they will be taking over the tavern one day. But Connor is telling all the guys about this lady he has met. So Connor is telling all these guys about the ladies he's met while doing this job for the king at the Abbey. Number one, they're all so impressed by this job and commission that he's going to get that it's like just life-changing for Connor. So Jedediah and Jacob are so proud of their brother, and Pascal is so happy for his friend. Pascal is telling them how married life is going. They haven't been so lucky enough to have a child yet, but he is very hopeful, and he comes over all the time to Jacob and Halia's to help take care of the boys. He is just so excited to start having children, especially sons. He loves his sister's sons so much. And Jedediah is kind of venting about Tamara. Him and Tamara are in a rough place, and they're trying to work through it, but honestly, he's telling the guys she's getting on his nerves. Like, he is kind of sick of her right now, and I think the guys are like, hey, like, this is a phase. You know, during this time period, I don't think, while it was emotional for the men to lose children, the women were the more heavier emotional burden of that. They carried that heavier, while the guys, you know, had to think about other things in life because this was a different time period. So even though Jedediah is more sensitive, he is a bard, he's passionate, I do think he thinks of romance in a sense of passion, and he is, in his mind, his flame with Tamara is out. She's just his old lady at home who has his kids, and he is just looking for adventure. He honestly is telling the guys he cannot wait till his sons grow up so he could just go out and wander the land, and you know, he doesn't really want to provide for them. He's too much of a goofy guy. And while he loves them, he just is sick of the responsibility. Like Tamara and Jedediah just don't enjoy responsibility of a family. It's not something they really probably wanted in life, but something that they had to do. So I think Jedediah is on the search for adventure. So Jedediah is feeling very happy from his drink, and he is serenading Miss Emma Brewer from the Tavern. So he's serenading Miss Emma in the tavern, which is honestly very embarrassing. So in a heat of moment, Jedediah is swept up in his feelings and he embraces Emma in front of everybody. And he just likes that she is so carefree and likes his silly ways. So in a heat of moment, Jedediah gets a room at the tavern with Emma, the local spellcaster, and the wife to the priest. And all the boys have gone home. Oh wait, no, Connor is still here because that boy's broken. Connor is still here, so I think he knows about it. But yeah, he's probably staying in this tavern. So the shop owner had to go upstairs and tell Jedediah and Emma that what they were doing was wildly inappropriate and that people could hear them. Connor is leaving. I think he is upset, disappointed in his brother, but he really can't control his brother's reactions. What are they doing in here? They're talking. Hopefully it doesn't come to be a regret of Jedediah's. It's definitely something that he is going to have to live with. All right, so we are now in the second day of 1302, and today is Connor's birthday. But I just wanted to pop you guys in on the Abbey and see how Connor remodeled it. So far, he has spent $400,000 remodeling. They put a new entrance around back and demolished the one in the front originally because they were thinking, okay, if this is where important people are staying, whenever they visit the castle over here and they're coming through here, they stop at the Abbey. You know, they wanted them to be able to see it from the shoreline, so as the boats are coming in. So they have this entrance, and he's going to do a new entrance around back. We did have a hiccup in the stone masonry. I was struggling, but I tried my best. That was the first time I've ever done half tiles. So yeah, so this is what Connor has done. He's hired some landscaping out, and he also hired a lot of people from the peasantry class. I wish I could get rid of this tree. He's hired a lot of people from the peasantry class, which has made, you know, the kingdom really happy, which has made the king happy. So even though some of this is a little ostentatious spending, which we will get into, how much spending, you know, will affect the kingdom later on, the kingdom right now is happy about it, and the king is happy about it. There is this beautiful water feature, a little private rose garden with a wishing well, a sacred tree. I was kind of thinking like Game of Thrones. I really wish I could put red. I might just want to get one of these actually, but for now, this is the sacred tree we have. And he has done some internal work as well. So Connor has been spending about a year on this now. So far he has furnished the dormitories for the male and females staying here. He has made the beds, and he has commissioned his sister. So he has commissioned his sister Tamara for quilts, blankets, and rugs and tapestries for the place. The tapestries have not came in yet. She is still working on them, as you might have seen her working on stuff in the last episode. So this is the bathroom area, very basic bathrooms, nothing too crazy because this is just to house the basic staff, the sisters living here, the priest living here, Connor while he's here. This is housing them. And on this next level below is a corridor, but they're going to expand above this little area for special guests. They're going to make a room. But right now it's just a corridor, and it peeks down into the conference hall kind of area. So he has done pews in here, as well as he commissioned his sister for this giant quilt, which they will get paid for it next time I go into their house. I'm going to pay them. I want to say we're going to do maybe 5,000 simoleons, because to be fair, the way the bills are stacked in the world, like I know in realistically medieval times that 5,000 money would mean you're like a lord of a small kingdom, you know? But back here's the little kitchen. He also built these tables and chairs for feast. So, and this is the, not the conference hall. I keep calling it a conference hall, but it's where the royal audience or the preacher would, you know, congregate. So this abbey isn't like necessarily like a church or a chapel because we already have those in the game. So I'm seeing this one is more like a sanctuary is how I'm feeling about it. So, and it's just like a place for, you know, to socialize as well as a sanctuary and for people to come in. And please ignore their shoes and stuff like that. I downloaded them from the gallery and then I just edited them. But I'm going to see how Connor is hitting it off with the ladies. So it seems like Connor sees Ophelia as attractive, and Ophelia sees Connor as attractive. That's awesome. To pursue Ophelia, I think that's just the route we're gonna go. And we're just gonna live our life here in the Abbey. He probably, like, the castle is only half a day's journey on the other side of the island. Like, you could see it peeking up. So he probably sees his children like often, at least weekly, but they are studying at the castle. So it's time to see if Connor ages up to a young adult. So he cannot roll a 2, 6, 11, 13, or 14, which is quite a lot of numbers. So let's get this on the screen. He gets a 16, 2, 6, 11, 13, 14. Awesome, he makes it. So that's great. And so he is proposing. At this point, it has been 7 years since he lost his wife. So it's, you know, time for him to move on. And that's going to be everything for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later.